Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, worshippers of all ages, welcome to YouTube. My name is SeaRaptor, and today we're bringing you a battle report from the bridge of Tier 9 Italian cruiser Brindisi. Now, Brindisi is currently a work in progress. So what you're going to see in this game is where she is today. We don't know what they're going to change about her, what they're going to do. We'll see how it goes. But essentially where she is right now is, well, she's kind of an Italian version of Donskoy, which sounds weird, but she kind of is. She has a very large detection radius. She has 4 triple-barreled turrets of quite a good caliber with a lot of shell velocity. These are 203mm guns, 8 inches, and she's got a lot of speed. Brindisi is unquestionably the fastest Tier 9 cruiser in the game as we spawn here into the new map. I don't believe I've covered this map on the channel before. This is Crash Zone Alpha, modeled after the White Cliffs of Dover. Now, Brindisi, like all Italian tech tree cruisers, comes with 2 shell types. You see down there along the bottom edge. On the left, instead of high explosive, HE, you have what's called SAP. And on the right, next to that, you have traditional AP, just like you're used to seeing. What is SAP? SAP is semi-armor piercing. What that means is these shells behave in a very similar fashion to HE, except they are incapable of starting fires. In exchange for that, they get much better angles with which they can achieve full penetration damage, which is, meaning when the shell lands, it will deal 1/3 of the max shell damage to the target. And these shells, the angles are better. Like they get improved normalization angles, I think, and they get better auto bounce angles as well. So as we kind of start off here, I'm moving aggressively to the bottom of the map. I've got a lot of my teammates behind me, and I'm really wanting to kind of just discourage this Mogador. I know from a couple of games I've had in these ships that these shells can do horrible, unspeakable, nasty things to destroyers when given the opportunity to. So I'm looking for a shot on this Mogador. But of course, right now, the only ship that had eyes on him was the Fletcher, and we don't have eyes on him anymore. So I'm kind of just playing the J line here, looking for targets. One of the things about the Italian cruiser line, especially the high tier, the 8, 9, 10, possibly even Zara down at tier 7, the shell velocities are good enough you don't necessarily have to play forward. They have... that was a horrible shot. They have a decent range. It's not great. Brindisi here, as I'm playing her, I have equipped her with the range mod instead of main battery modification 3. So she has a 20-second reload on these 8-inch guns with a 19.9 kilometer range. So I've kitted this ship out to just basically sit back and play her certainly a ways from the action initially, maybe eventually pushing up to where it's useful. But initially, I want to be no closer to the enemy than I have to be, which is why I'm down here on the J line to start the game. Team is gone heavy, heavy, heavy A. You see on the mini-map, we have only the Amagi and the Hindenburg up at C. The Zed has basically solo-capped B by himself, while the 9 other ships on my team have all come to A in some form or fashion. Now, this is the first time I run into this Vladivostok. He and I are going to get to know each other irritatingly well over the course of this game. I try to stop and use this island for cover, but I just sneak out past it. He's reversing. I blow that salvo. So, yeah, things don't go well here for me early on. It's just, ugh. The Seattle manages to bag one of our battleships, and very quickly we're down a ship as both teams tick up a cap here. 4 minutes gone. Now, this Bismarck is turning away. This is the shot I want with my SAP because I'm going to be able to get lots of full penetrations. Unfortunately, I got a lot of non-pens there. But that's the shot you're looking for, right? Like, you want, in theory, the angle, the flat broadside is better for you. But it's not the end of the world if you don't get the flat broadside. You just want, that's the shot you want. As if you were firing AP. You have better luck getting the pens that you want. So, I think it's the Grozovoy. Yeah, the Grozovoy's down there in that angry smoke cloud shelling me. And I'm not super concerned about him. I'm more interested in trying to get some damage on these battleships. Now that I can spot the Grozovoy, now I'll change to him. But of course, I had just fired that salvo with the Bismarck when he finally became spotted. He's got a Seattle crawling up his stern. They're going to push him off. But the Seattle's in an equally precarious position He's got 2 or 3 battleships right in front of him, and he's got an Ibuki immediately off to his starboard side, sitting on the edge of the B-cap. That Ibuki is going to make his presence felt here momentarily. For the moment, all I'm doing is trying to play the edges, play the corners, and push these guys out of A. We need to bag this cap, because the Z is getting pushed out of B by that self-same Ibuki we were just talking about. The Grozavoy turning back to port. I'm trying to get... I'm looking for a shot. I'm not really finding one, because the more angled he is to me, you know, if he gives me a bow on, these shells will tend to act like British cruiser AP. They will bounce, right? They still get improved normalization angles, but you'll still get some bounces. The Ibuki does polish off the Seattle, so now, again, we find ourselves down yet another ship here. 6 minutes gone as we have bagged A. We're trying to keep them out of B, but their team at C has realized their position and is now wheeling south, and this is very quickly going to become a north-south fight after spawning as kind of an east-west one to begin with. Now, I'm trying to get shots on this Ibuki. I blew a salvo. My 20-second reload keeps me from getting another one off while he was in the middle of the turn. But at that angle, if I can land these shells right, I still might get some decent pen damage. I got to try for it anyway. Let's see if I can land any of these or not. 2 pens, 2K. So, you know, not great, not terrible. 3.6 Runken. The Ibuki is getting pushed from other people. The Salem is also throwing shells right up his stern. Now, one of the things that I've done with my Italian cruiser captains, and one of the reasons I'm not necessarily afraid to push this Grozavoy, is that I have vigilance on these captains. I expect to see these torpedoes, if he's got them out at me, long before they become a threat. And these ships handle pretty well. So I'm not super concerned about pushing a destroyer at this exact moment when I don't have Hydro. What I am a little concerned about is that I'm broadsided as Bismarck and the Seattle and the Grozavoy and everybody else. Blessedly, I've managed to kind of... Well, I was going to say I've co-opted the Grozavoy smoke, but no. I used my fancy Italian rolling smoke that I'm allowed to use at full speed here that covers me. I'm basically invisible. I can fire out of this smoke, but it's double-edged sword. If there is a ship able to detect me within my smoke detection range, even though I'm in smoke, I will still get spotted. So you have to pay attention. Like that Grozavoy could conceivably spot me if I were to fire. And I think that's what's going to happen as I come around the corner. I'm going to take a pot shot at this Seattle. No. Okay, so the Grozavoy's not close enough. But if you were, I would have been lit. So now, as we cross the 8-minute gone mark, I'm starting to do something that I don't realize is happening to me. And this is something that you're going to have to be very cognizant of when you play the Italian cruisers in general. Aside from Zara, who is, with 32 knots, not that fast. But these ships are fast, right? Not French fast. Not like French with a speed boost fast. But they are quick. It feels like a good salvo, 5K. The Groz is close. I immediately pick him up and like, yes, that's my shot. I got, come on, guns, reload. But you can see, look how far away I am from the rest of my team. Now, this is good and bad, right? It's partially bad because I'm very isolated over here. I'm giving the enemy team a very attractive target in, you know, like basically telegraphing, hey, come farm me and kill me. But at the same time, it's forcing them to react to my presence on this flank. Because I'm the only thing over here, I have great side shots, they're trying to angle. Ooh, that was a good salvo. 8K, Bismarck's gonna burn out. I don't get the kill, but we do bag him finally, which we desperately needed. So now my team, you can see on the map, we've pinned ourselves into the bottom end corner of the map. So that's one of the reasons I'm continuing to push here. I'm actually realizing how low that Worcester is. I'm looking for a shot on him. I mean, look at that guy. He's on like 1,000 HP back there. Yeah, 1,100. That's the shot I really want right now. The Grozavoy is the only one shooting at me, so I'm okay with this. He's gonna ding me up and you know, light some fires and stuff. Whatever. It's what I gotta heal for. Really need to get this booster off the board. He's only got 1,000 HP. Good. That's excellent. And just like that, suddenly we're up 2 ships. Now that feels nice. Smolensk has decided I look tasty, but with his stern to me, I'm looking more at the Vlad. Remember our friend the Vladivostok? There he is again. And that's not the last time he and I are going to have exchanged shells this battle. Let's just put it that way. So again, I'm kind of consciously doing something kind of dumb. I'm being a little reckless, and part of me is doing this intentionally. One, because it's forcing them to make bad targeting decisions. Look at that, I got 3 of them looking at me. That's freeing up my team to do other things. The other thing that I'm doing over here is that I'm continuing to work angles, right? Like, I'm always looking for a better shot. Now, my DCP is on cooldown. Thankfully, the Alsace blows his salvo. I'm about to put these fires out, and then when my smoke comes up, that has to be the next thing I do. But before I do, look at that Grozavoy. Ooh, 3K. As long as I get this lead right, 12 of these ought to finish him off. Come on. And bam. Another big kill. Thank you. So, again, now I'm just trying to harass, right? The enemy team is now upside down on health and ships. So my goal at this point is to be a distraction. Anything that I can do over here to just keep them occupied, busy, looking at me and not at my team is a good thing. Now that Smolensk is becoming a problem. So I immediately... Oh, he's got another smoke left still. So I was going to try and take shots at him, but at this point, nope. We'll just stick with the Alsace for a bit. Give him a go. Just farm some damage off of this guy. We still don't have quite enough ability to push them out of that cap, but they've only got 5 ships left. They're all in the same cap. In theory, we should be able to salvage this as long as we don't play stupid. We are upside down on points once again as the Seattle bags the Amagi at the bottom end of the B cap. Me, I'm just trying to farm damage. And I think I've finally... Now I'm basically behind their spawn area. I've decided I'm going to get singled out by this Vlad and this Alsace if I'm not careful. It's time to push back a little south and just be somewhere else for a bit. So we turn around and we head back down the one line here. Now again, I've continued to play the edges the whole time. This is intentional. I'm working the edges of this map because I'm just trying to be a distraction. Ah, the Alsace is looking at me. Undoubtedly, the Vlad is looking at me. Yep, there he is. But he's misjudged my speed. Again, these ships are fast. I will do... When you open her up with a speed flag, she'll do about 30... I think it's like 38 knots on her own. She doesn't need speed boost to go that fast. Seattle's having to back off. He's only on 1700 HP. The Smolensk and the Summers are about the only things at this point keeping us out of the B cap. The battleships are both retreating, so now I'm like, all right, now it's time. Now I need to start looking for shots and taking pot shots into the smoke if that's what it takes. But apparently I'm going to take one more shot at this Vladivostok. Come on, Raptor. You know you have to go for that Smolensk. There he is. There he is. Running from his smoke. Smoke probably expiring. Another good solid hit. The SAP just feels really good. You get lots of good solid pen damage. So, the Italian AP I have not had a ton of luck with. Like, that's been frustrating. Ooh, the Vlad's calling me out. Now, I'm not super concerned about the Smolensk's AP at this range, right? My armor is decent enough. That 130mm AP is... He might ding me up. He might get some chip damage here and there, but he's not a real threat with that stuff. It's a far bigger threat for him to be firing the HE at me, which, unfortunately, he's just figured out. But my SAP will still smack him around a little bit, even when he's angled. So as long as I lead these shells okay, I'm going to be okay. The Zed is finally into the cap, and he's getting pushed by the Hindi from astern and myself. Trying to angle to both of us is causing him some fits. So at this point, I think he's realized he's going to lose. He's just trying to get as much damage out of it as he can. There, the Hindi lands some good hits on him. Might have been the Salem, one of the two, but on 2K now, he does light another fire, but he's going to be out momentarily. He can't angle to everybody. It's just not possible. And there he goes. The Hindi does finally bag him, which leaves them with just the Summers and the Alsace and the Vlad. I pop my smoke, realizing I need to get some space between myself and these battleships. We're up a ship and a cap here. 5 minutes to play. And if we can find and annihilate this Summers, we are going to be sitting in the catbird seat. Like, that's what we need to do. We've got to find this Summers. So there he is. He's spotted now. I think the Salem... Yep, the Salem's got him on radar. Why am I not firing at the Summers? All right, so that's a mistake. I should absolutely be firing at this Summers. I think maybe I didn't realize he was lit or something. I don't know. That's dumb. I need to be... These shots should absolutely be going on the destroyer. So kids, remember, first rule of playing a cruiser is When you can see a destroyer, you shoot at the destroyer. Don't do what I just did. That was a mistake. Vlad is continuing to harass me, both in chat and in game. But a little bit of throttle games will distract him somewhat. I'm bouncing those off the top of his turrets, I think, which is really irritating. He does not want to get too close to me. I'm not sure why exactly he's afraid to push me. I mean, the Italian Torps, they exist, but they're not amazing. Summers is back in... I'm sorry, the Alsace is back into B now. Summers presumably is over there with him. But we ought to be able to push these guys off. So now, without eyes on the Summers, I'm absolutely going to get in on farming this Alsace. Like, that needs to be the play. I repaired the turret damage there. I probably didn't need to do that, but I did. So, well, it is what it is. I'm trying to help out my team that's getting, you know, this Salem is getting pushed aggressively by this Alsace. There's the Summers. He's spotted again, finally. Down to 3 cruisers and a destroyer. Ooh, that was a good hit. That was a nice hit. 7K there with the SAP. We're down to just the 3 heavy cruisers plus our Zed against these battleships, so we've got to do something. Now, the Alsace is turning out. I'm not entirely positive why he did this exactly. I don't have shots on him over the island. That's why I'm taking shots at the Vladivostok. The other thing I'm trying to do is use this island. I'm trying to push closer to the cap so that I can then turn back north, flip my guns back into the B cap, and push this Summers. We've got to kill this Summers. He's the one thing that's really just keeping us from being effective here. The Salem is a huge threat to him, but unfortunately, the Summers has got his number. But not yet. We do bag the Alsace. That feels good. They're down to just the Summers and the Vladivostok. 4 on 2. We've got to be able to salvage this game. There must be a way. I know, right? Exactly. I don't speak Italian. Now, you can see there the Summers was last spotted heading to this side of the map, coming out of the cap. So my assumption is as I come up around the corner, he's going to get spotted. He'll spot me, and I'm hoping to be close enough to face spot him in exchange. But I'm not sure I'm going to be. But the guns on this ship turn pretty quick, so I'm pretty happy with the turret traverse. And as we come around the corner, there we're spotted. And there he is. Now that I think is somebody's... Nope, the Salem had him face spotted. No, and there's the radar. $7K and falling. He is on fire. Unfortunately, his final torp salvo is going to take our radar off the board. And that's going to feel really bad. But he cannot get back into the cap. The Vladivostok's now behind an island. He has no shots on me. We've got 1:40 minutes to play. And all I have to keep doing is to push this Summers away. Drive him off the cap. We might actually need the kill. Yeah, as I look at the score, I think we need the kill. I really think we need this kill. But we're up on caps. Yep, we absolutely have to have the kill now. You can see, I don't think we're going to overtake them in time. Only 90 seconds for us to flip. But if we can bag this Summers, and between myself and the Zed, we ought to be able to do this. He can't really break back west because I'm here. And he can't break south. There he is. So now that I've got him lit, he's in range. I'm getting my turrets around. And that settles that. The Vladivostok isn't in a position to do anything. He's trying. He's going to try and push back through this gap and come right into the B cap, but it's not going to do him any good. He's running out of time. Under 60 seconds now. He had the Zed, but the Zed smokes up, pops his hydro to keep this guy lit. Now, I should also sit behind this. This is American smoke. I should sit behind this smoke screen all day long, but I don't. I keep firing, and he can detect me through the smoke as soon as I fire anyway. I could have just sat back there, but nah, that's not how I want to play this ship. 30 seconds to go, 10 points behind. We're about to overtake them finally. All I have to do at this point is not die. The Vlad has to turn out. He can't charge a destroyer. That will not end well for him. And between my bow armor, which is pretty significant for this ship, we ought to be able... And there we've just finally, with 12 seconds left, we finally took our first lead of the game. And we're finally going to take it out as time ticks away. He's not wrong. Her name is Brindisi. Tier 9 Italian cruiser. So I'm really enjoying the line right now. This is one of the better solid ships I had in this games I had in this ship. Excuse me. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I've got a few more of these. There's a Venezia video coming very soon, so stay tuned and you'll see that one on the channel probably tomorrow. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Be safe out there. I'll catch you next time.